Thank you both for being here. I don't think when last you were before us we imagined you'd be back quite so soon. So thank you again for appearing with us and answering the many difficult questions that we continue to have. I think we were all very pleased that the President, in speaking to the American people, clarified what his intentions were and what the rationale was. And I think also we can all feel good steps were taken in bringing the international community and our Arab partners into this process. And as always, I think we've seen how admirably our men and women in uniform have performed. But I want to revisit the question of boots on the ground. I appreciate so much, Secretary Gates, your firm commitment and continued reiteration that that is not something that you would find acceptable. And I myself want to take this opportunity to say that I could not, under any circumstances, support the deployment of U.S. ground forces to Libya. But I worry that we have a stalemate on our hands, and we are already seeing the limits of what can be done from the air. And numerous reports have indicated that within the just past 2 or 3 weeks that President Obama has signed a covert finding which would authorize military aid to the Libyan rebels. To me, this signals that other options besides the current arms embargo, no-fly zone, and airstrikes are being left on the table. With 2 other wars, as you both have said, and our armed forces nearly at the breaking point after a decade of combat, deployment of our ground forces into Libya cannot be one of them. Secretary Gates, it's my understanding that Admiral Gortney, Director of the Joint Staff, has indicated that the United States believes it has the authority to put forces on the ground in Libya. Can you envision any scenario in which the rebel forces, you've said that they don't want us at this point, but a scenario in which they would request a presence of U.S. or coalition ground forces in Libya, and under what circumstances would we consider such a request?
I assume there are conditions under which they would ask for it. I cannot imagine the circumstances under which the President would approve it.
So you think that it's an absolute line in the sand that U.S. troops, the boots would never be on the ground?
That is certainly the way he has expressed it to the Chairman and myself.
And going forward, as we transition to NATO, and if NATO were to make a decision that it needed to put boots on the ground, would there be a caveat in place that said no American soldiers could be used in that context?
Presumably.
Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Conaway.